In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on August 3rd, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Minnesota Twins versus Cleveland Guardians. On Sunday, the Minnesota Twins are set to face off against the Cleveland Guardians over at Progressive Field, wrapping up what could be a telling series in this divisional scrap. The Twins seem like they're throwing in the towel for the year, and with Urena on the mound, there's not much to get excited about since he doesn't bring that spark you need in a starter. He's bounced around the league as a reliable but inconsistent arm, often struggling to find the zone, and this season he's given up 23 hits along with 11 runs across 18.1 innings, which just highlights how hitters are teeing off on him without much pushback. Cantillo's got his own bumps to work through, no doubt, but he's towing the rubber for a Guardian squad that's been on a tear, swinging hot bats and pushing to cap the week with some momentum. You've got one team fading fast and the other charging ahead, clear as day. Joey Cantillo might not top my list in that Guardians pitching group, but he's still the stronger choice here against a guy like Jose Urena, who I flat out don't see cutting it as a big league starter with his stuff and command issues. Cleveland keeps scraping out wins in this series, grinding through tough spots, and let's face it, the Twins shipped off key pieces at the deadline, leaving them short-handed and tough to back in these late-season games. As our first pick for this matchup, the Cleveland Guardians money line is our full game side pick. These two clubs have built their success on strong arms over the past few years, so it makes sense that the under has hit in 6 of their last 10 head-to-head clashes, and in the 5 games played in Cleveland this season, they've averaged right at 6 runs total, keeping things tight and low-key without many explosions on the scoreboard. Looking at the Twins, they've gone under in 4 of their last 10 games overall with 1 push, managing 4 runs or fewer in 7 of those, which shows their bats going cold more often than not. Meanwhile, the Guardians have cashed the under in 6 of their past 10, holding opponents to just 37 runs across that stretch and really clamping down when it matters. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. San Francisco Giants versus New York Mets. The San Francisco Giants just don't have that same spark they showed early on, stumbling through a rough patch that's left them looking flat and inconsistent as the season drags on. Carson Whisenhunt steps to the mound with barely any big league time, logging just 5 innings in his career so far, which makes it hard to count on him for a steady outing against a lineup that can punish mistakes. Frankie Montas isn't exactly striking fear into hitters with his overall 5.46 earned run average and 1.45 WHIP that point to some command issues and too many base runners, but a chunk of those problems have popped up away from home, where the pressure builds differently. When he's pitching in front of the home crowd across 16.1 innings, he's dialed in with a 3.31 earned run average and holding opponents to a .254 average, keeping things manageable and giving his team a shot. The Mets have backed him up too, pulling out wins in 3 of his last 4 starts, which shows they find ways to grind out results even if he's not perfect. If the Mets want to chase down the top spot in the National League, they've got to capitalize on these home games against squads that aren't firing on all cylinders, stacking wins where they can, and building momentum for the stretch run. As our first pick for this matchup, the New York Mets money line is our full game side pick. The Giants got hammered for 15 runs over 3 games against the Mets just last weekend, exposing some real cracks in their pitching that New York exploited without much trouble. Whisenhunt is stepping up for only his 2nd start in the majors, and he didn't exactly dominate down in the minors this year, posting a mediocre 4.42 earned run average across 97.1 innings. That suggests he leaves too much over the plate for hitters to ignore. On top of that, the Mets' arms haven't been locking things down lately either, coughing up a whopping 26 runs in their last 5 outings heading into Saturday, which shows they're vulnerable to getting tagged if they don't locate well. Montas let in 5 runs in his most recent turn on the mound and carries a 5.23 earned run average for the month, hinting at some ongoing struggles with consistency that could open the door for more offense. The over has hit in 5 of the Giants' past 7 road trips, with 1 push, pointing to a trend where scores climb when they're away from home and facing lineups ready to swing. I've got a feeling this one's going to see runs stacking up from both sides, turning into a back-and-forth affair that keeps the scoreboard busy. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Yankees versus Miami Marlins. The New York Yankees are squaring off against the Miami Marlins, with these teams pulling in totally different directions after all the trade deadline dust settled, making this matchup feel like a real mismatch on paper but with some twists based on recent games. Surprisingly, the Marlins have grabbed wins in the last couple of outings, including a complete shutout last night that silenced the Yankees' bats and showed they've got some fight left. Today, it's Luis Gil for the Yankees against Edward Cabrera for the Marlins. Gil's stepping back in for his first big league action this season after dealing with that lat strain, and in his latest tune-up down in AAA, he went 4.1 innings, which makes me think he'll be on a short leash here, not stretching too far into the game. That puts extra weight on the Yankees bullpen, and we've seen how dicey that can be, like in the series opener where they blew a 9-4 lead and ended up falling 13-12 in a mess of late innings. Back-to-back wins, capped by that clean sheet, has the Marlins riding high with real energy heading into this finale. Edward Cabrera takes the hill for the Marlins, sitting at 4-5 with a solid 3.35 earned run average overall this year. But he really turns it up at home where he's given up just 4 runs across his last 5 starts, covering 31.2 innings of work that's kept opponents quiet. Those home outings stand out, especially since they've come against tough lineups like the Padres, Brewers, and Phillies, proving he can handle pressure and keep things under control in familiar surroundings. I figure he'll keep it going against a Yankees squad that got blanked last night and has been scuffling at .230 over their past 7 games, struggling to string hits together. Bottom line, Gil's ramp-up doesn't have me sold on a long, effective outing from him, and leaning on that wobbly bullpen for too many frames spells trouble. I'll back Cabrera and ride the wave the Marlins have built here. As our first pick for this matchup, the Miami Marlins money line is our full game side pick. This Yankees squad just isn't clicking the same without Judge in the mix, and over the past week, they're middle of the pack at 14th in WOBA with .328 and 13th in ISO at .163, lacking that extra punch to drive in runs consistently. They're up against Edward Cabrera, who's held their current hitters to .231, .355, and .385 across 26 at-bats, mixing pitches well enough to keep them off balance. Miami's thrown up 3 shutouts in their last 4 games, clamping down hard and making it tough for offenses to break through. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Baltimore Orioles versus Chicago Cubs. On Sunday afternoon, the Baltimore Orioles and Chicago Cubs are wrapping up their 3-game set with a finale at Wrigley Field, where the wind can play tricks and turn any at-bat into something unpredictable. The Orioles don't have much starting pitching stashed away in the farm system, so they're likely turning to a bullpen game to get through this one, especially since Trevor Rogers went deep in the opener and gave the relievers a breather. Still, I see a real shot for Baltimore here because their hitters have been tearing apart right-handers lately, putting up big numbers and making life tough for anyone throwing from that side, while Colin Rea has gotten knocked around hard in his past couple of outings, struggling to find his spots and keep runs off the board. The Orioles are slashing a robust .303, .370, and .558 with a 156 WARC plus against the righties in the last 10 days. During that stretch, the Cubs have recorded a 125 WRC balance against the righties and a 52 WRC POW versus the lefties. Their bullpen has been shaky over the last couple of weeks. As our first pick for this matchup, the Baltimore Orioles money line is our full game side pick. Like I said, Baltimore's bats have been sharp against right-handers in recent games, stacking hits and driving in runs with ease, so Colin Rea faces a tough challenge trying to shut them down and escape without damage. The Cubs pack some punch offensively too, with a lineup that can erupt at any moment and keep pitchers on their toes, which makes me think both sides will connect well and light up the scoreboard in this matchup. Chicago's been consistent at putting runs up, crossing the plate at least 4 times in 8 of their last 10 games overall, showing they can grind out offense even on off days. Meanwhile, the Orioles have seen 5 of their past 8 games rack up double-digit runs total, pointing to some lively affairs where neither pitching staff could fully clamp down. The series started quiet with only 7 hits and a single run in the first game, but I reckon this finale will flip the script and turn into a lively back and forth with plenty of action. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Pittsburgh Pirates versus Colorado Rockies. The Pittsburgh Pirates, with a 47-63 record, and the Colorado Rockies, sitting at 29-80, are set to wrap up their series down near the bottom of the league standings this Sunday. Both squads scraping by in a tough spot but looking to end on a high note. Time's running out for the Rockies. They're the worst squad in baseball and won't keep stringing together these unlikely victories, so the Pirates should come out on top here. Plus, Pittsburgh's rolling with the stronger arm on the mound since Keller's been a steady part of their rotation all year, unlike Blalock, who's been thrown into starting duties out of necessity for Colorado. Keller boasts a way lower earned run average, a better ratio of strikeouts to walks, and he's solid at keeping the ball in the park. He's logged 127 innings while giving up just 10 homers, compared to Blalock, who's surrendered 6 long balls in only 33 innings, which is a rough rate in that thin air. The Pirates aren't packing it in yet. They see more baseball to play and need this win to show they're still fighting. As our first pick for this matchup, the Pittsburgh Pirates money line is our full game side pick. These two lineups rank among the weakest in the game, with the Pirates dead last in team OPS at .649 and the Rockies not much better at 24th with .690, struggling to generate consistent hits or power that could turn games around. They're also lagging in the homer department, as Pittsburgh sits rock bottom with 77 total dingers while Colorado's 21st with 114, meaning neither side is lighting up the scoreboard with big flies very often. The run total feels a bit inflated for this Coors Field clash, and even though the first couple games exploded with scores, I reckon this finale bucks the trend and stays low-key, finishing below the line without all the fireworks. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.